When I was a child, I loved playing spaceship and building worm forts with the Cook brothers. They lived just up the path through the weeds, the path we'd created by endlessly running through them. Cook brothers, if you're out there, please contact me. My maiden name was Brown. We once left this earth for real on an abandoned hot water heater rigged with a control panel made of half-melted camera flash cubes and pieces of wood that we wired and taped to its side. Of course, this was back in the pre-Wii days when our only option was to engage in real-life, hands-on play, like sifting through remnants of the garbage our folks burned in a rusty barrel out back. Where else could we discover a once common flash cube transformed by fire into a crystal launch button? During our space explorations, I was Flash Gordon. I mean to tell you, I was Flash Gordon. Neither a pretend Flash nor one of those frou-frou tight-clothes girls in the old black and white television show of my youth. Nope, I was Flash, who was also tight-clothed, but not in that way. As for the worm forts, they were exquisite, although I do not recommend putting a swimming pool in your complex. Don't ask me how I know. Over time, I became a gypsy, inspired by the exotic Sophia Loren, Annie Oakley, sharpshooter, Calamity Jane, rough and tumble, Crazy Guggenheim. I loved making my mother laugh while pretending to be that wonderful character brought to life by Frank Fontaine on the Jackie Gleason Show, and Doris Day, that quirky fanny-swinging dame of a movie star with whom men always fell in love. A comparable cast for today's youth, or on a bad day at the office or with the kids, perhaps might be made up of an actual astronaut. We didn't yet have them back in the 50s. Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, or say Jim Carrey. Although I wasn't doing typical childhood writerly things like reading stacks of books or writing, not even in a diary, I always had a story running in my head. I was too busy living in another world or paying attention to the fine, wondrous, confounding, and startling details of my own life to sit down and write about it. At the time, little did I know that my natural childhood inclination to live in otherly skin was setting the stage for my all-growed-up, as my grandma used to say, accidental fiction writing career. Never did I suspect that my youthful God-given instinct to pay close attention to the physical and emotional nuances of my life, as well as the lives of those around me, was preparing me for one of the most fulfilling and rewarding joys of my entire life, writing this book. However, during an astute memory portfolio, MP review, my writerly path and this burning message became as clear as a bell. When we give our MPs a chance to work for us, what obvious and meaningful threads we discover woven throughout them. Not only that, but what might the patterns of our frayed threads teach us, spare us from in the future, if we learn to recognize and heed their warning stitches. Turns out I am best fed, educated, and ministered to by the magical, mystical power unleashed through stories, and hugely blessed by passing them along. I'm also often a complete doofus, a qualification God uses to make sure I don't run out of fun and wholly relatable, so I'm told time and again, material. Thank you, God, I think. That is why I'm offering you this easygoing pluck and play opportunity to pluck what you want from this book of stories and play their implications and possibilities into your life as needed.